You've probably been told that in order to become a successful trader, you need to change who you are. But what if this advice is keeping you stuck? Most traders believe they need to fight their nature in order to become disciplined. But the truth is, lasting change doesn't come from rejecting who you are. It comes from knowing how to leverage your strengths to give your best at the charts. In this video, you will learn exactly how to do just that. Did you ever felt like you're trading on autopilot? You make the same impulsive trades again and again. You break your rules, and then at the end of the day, when you revisit your journal, you beat yourself up again and again. And the cycle goes on. You tell yourself, I need to be more disciplined. I need to be more patient to wait for the setup or to take my profits. I need to change my habits. I need to change who I am. But no matter how much willpower you use, the same mistakes keep repeating. You might be able to reduce impulsivity in a phase of your trading, but then there's always a day where that impulsivity takes over and the cycle repeats itself. Why? Well, there are a lot of factors playing in to this cycle, but in essence, what you're doing is fighting against yourself instead of playing to your strengths. Most traders approach self-improvement as a means to change their identity. They think that success means forcing themselves to be more patient, more confident, more disciplined. And they treat trading like a battle against their own identity. For example, let's take the rebel personality. Rebels thrive on independence, freedom, autonomy. So when they start trading, when they have all these rules they need to abide, they feel limited. And this triggers them in a certain way to revenge and impulsive trade. So there's this tendency to fight the rebellious side. But they are truly fighting against their nature. So that's why the rebel always takes over sooner or later. And this is because the more you suppress your natural tendencies and your motivators and drivers, the more they get repressed, and then sooner or later they come to the surface. And mostly this means a blowout day. A day where a one-time trigger comes up and you go from 0 to 100, you explode, revenge trading, oversizing. It's never a small mistake. Now, here's the real reason why working against your natural tendencies and motivators doesn't work. It's because your strongest trading problems are often misused versions of your biggest strengths. Take one of my clients, let's call him Josh. Josh had this deeply ingrained belief that he couldn't give up. Something like, if I give up, I'm a failure. And this same belief helped him build a lot of success in his life. He had a business, he had, a happy family, he was working out every day, so he had a lot of discipline outside of the charts coming from this driver. But in trading, after a loss, he would try to make it back by revenge trading. He needed to push through pain. He also felt like walking away from the charts was giving up, and this would lead to big losing days where he would struggle to recover. And finally, after weeks of recovering to the break-even stage, he would repeat it all over again. So it was really frustrating cycle. Now, does this mean that Josh needed to replace this belief? Now, if this belief was helping him so much outside of the charts, why would Josh want to change completely this belief? That's not the point here, because it was a strength of him. It was helping him. He needed to reframe the meaning he was giving to the belief on the charts. So this meant that Josh needed a full reframing. He needed to see walking away from the charts as a bold move, as a protection rather than giving up. And he needed to reframe his strength as not pushing truth, but knowing how to work smartly. And this applies to every trader. There's always an ingrained belief you have, and I challenge you to look within and understand what is this belief that has been helping you outside of the charts, accomplishing whatever you did, but in trading, it revealed as something you need to overcome. You need to change. And I see this with a lot of my clients. They tell me, they ask me, Sarah, do I need to change who I am in order to succeed in trading? I don't want to change this belief. It's been so helpful for me. And the answer is, instead of fighting your natural tendencies, first understand what they are, your biggest motivators, your biggest drivers, core values, and core beliefs, and then ask yourself the benefits, the pros and the cons. So the benefits and the cons of this same belief. You might find out that outside of the charts, there's a lot of benefits, on the charts, not so much, but you still don't want to get rid of it. Then you want to understand how you can channel this belief in a more productive way. Now, I want to give you a 3-step process in order for you to put all this knowledge that we've been talking so far into practice. So the first step is I want you to think and look within and understand what are your 3 biggest motivators or core values. So I want you to look at past challenges, especially those tough decisions that you had to do in your past experiences, especially those ones that are this or that. What was the core value you grounded yourself in order to decide? And looking at your past experiences, this is of great help to really understand what's been moving you. And, for some traders, this is a drive for action. For others, is a drive to help others. For others, what gets them out of bed is overcome challenges, mastery of a specific skill for their family. So we all have our specific motivators. And the key here, they are not something that you want to change, neither that you need to change. So we need to get to know them, and then we want to ask ourselves, how can we make the best use of them? How can we leverage these motivators that are already there for a long time in the best way in your trading? So that's step number 1, understanding your 3 biggest motivators. Now, step number 2 is look at these 3 motivators and ask yourself, how have they been playing out in your trading? So for example, a very common client study that I see is the drive for action. So these traders have this activator theme playing out in their past life. It helped them tons. They achieved milestones. They got businesses successful. They have their workout. They don't miss physical exercise. They are very disciplined and they just like to act. The thing is, when they start trading, there are variables they cannot control. So it means that this strength is conditional. It's conditional as long as they have control over all variables, which in most skills outside of the charts, you do have. So they were thriving with that activator theme. Now, on the charts, there are variables you certainly cannot control, like the market, what price does after you enter a trade, the flow of opportunities, right? So under these specific conditions, these traders struggle a lot. So they take impulsive trades, they want to reclaim control. Now, the question is not how can they change their motivator, which is this action, this drive for action, and channeling it in a better way. And that's step number 3, which is reframing how you are utilizing your core value or your motivator. And picking up on Josh's example, my past client, he reframed pushing through pain as pushing through the discomfort of doing nothing. Not only that, but he defined what doing nothing meant. Doing nothing doesn't mean that you are not taking trades. So the notion of inactivity was tied to not taking trades, but as a matter of fact, you might be an observer of price action and you're doing a lot. So the key is in reframing how you are utilizing these motivators, not getting rid of them. And other common examples are, for instance, if you have freedom as your core motivator, this normally creates a contrast to follow rules. Traders find themselves breaking rules again and again. Find a way to reframe rules. What's your notion of rules? What do they mean, and how can you be flexible applying these rules? Because rules can be seen in a strict way, but they can also be seen as guardrails. Maybe this is a more flexible approach that will not clash with a belief that have been playing out throughout your entire life. If you are driven by achievement, maybe you want to reframe this. Instead of short-term outcomes, you might want to start to track process-based metrics and create process-based goals. And once you have these metrics in place, then you can, place goals around these and make them your achievements day after day. This is a much more controllable way for you to have a direct hand in your trading. Once you do this, trading becomes easier because you are playing with your nature, with your strengths, not against them. So if there's a takeaway I want you to leave this video with, that is, you don't need to change who you are. You need to get to know yourself, and if some of your core beliefs and values have been unproductive in your trading, reframing how you see them. The reason most traders struggle is not that they are broken, is that they haven't learned what are their strengths on one hand and how to leverage them on the other. But when they do, when you do understand your core and how you can maximize it in your trading sessions stop becoming a fight, because you're not fighting against yourself and against your core and what you believe in and your emotions. There's more self-acceptance, less resistance, less friction, and your trading flows much better. Now, if you found this helpful, I would appreciate if you would click the like button and let me know in the comments, what is one core value that have been playing in your life and that you can productively utilize it in your trading. And if you want to dig deeper into self-knowledge and maximizing your strengths with one-on-one coaching, I have my peak performance trading program where I work with traders one-on-one. They normally already have their strategies, so this is about leveraging your execution and your performance with your existing edge. If you are interested, I will leave the link in the description below where you can fill out a qualification form and then hop on a call with me to talk more about your interests, your goals, your problems, and discuss ways of working together.